Here's some not-so-subtle foreshadowing on all these villains you're going to face later on in the game. Tech specialist Peter Parker uses sticky notes when he could easily put all those notes in his phone to alert him. Not Bonesaw? 0 out of 10, this game already sucks.
Mind if I join in on the fun?
You know how his lawyers are. This one needs to go by the book.
Yeah, not really sure you can do things by the book when his men are having a massive shootout in the middle of Times Square with the police. Ah, New York City's finest. Understaffed, underpaid, might as well not even exist since Spider-Man solves all the problems anyway.
Bring in the hammer.
Which does absolutely nothing except reenact the Resident Evil 2 opening, though I could have sworn I saw Leon and Claire jump out of the picture. There is no way I'm going to sin this game without taking a sin off for the combat system. I honestly thought it was going to play like the Batman Arkham games, but as you can clearly see from the footage, it's way more fun than that. And this is just the opening sequence. I wanted excellent web combos, and I got them. Like a true comic book villain, Kingpin has the words server room plastered in large lettering right out in the open for the hero to find and disrupt his plans.
After all these years, you're still just an ignorant child.
Yeah, that's Travis Willingham voicing Kingpin, and I'm not buying it. All I hear is a pissed off Guile who can't handle the fact that M. Bison got the better of him again. These people have blocks of concrete crushing their midsections that Spider-Man has difficulty lifting. They should be dead. And they are not.
Yuri, get EMTs up here, fast!
Gonna be pretty difficult to do when Kingpin has bombs rigged to explode the entire building, a lot of which has already been destroyed.
I'm surprised you made it this far.
But I had these defense turrets installed just in case I had to fight you someday. Wait, there's a turret cliche in this game?
How is this happening?
Probably because he's Spider-Man and has superpowers. And since you've been dealing with him for the past 8 years, you should already know this. Boy, am I sure glad we regressed several years by including quick time events. I knew something felt outdated when playing this game. Regular handcuffs should not be able to restrain Fisk, especially considering everything we just went through.
If you think this will be more than a minor inconvenience...
Your men just caused utter mayhem in Times Square and used rocket launchers against the police in your own building. Where exactly do you see a minor inconvenience in that?
Hey, good luck, Willie. I have a feeling you're gonna need it.
Hey gang, it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, sending men to prison and making jokes about them being raped. Hey Fisk, make sure your inmates don't give you Doc Cock. See, Spider-Man? You're not the only one with dumb puns. You know, I jokingly said in my Rejected Sins video of the recent God of War, from that point forward, I was going to sin any game featuring motion blur and film grain. This time I'm being serious. Jesus, game, can you be any more on the nose? Literally first image of Otto Octavius and you're already prepping his villain origin.
It's fine, Parker. I invented this equipment. I think I can handle it.
1, 2... 3, and right on cue. Boombox in a 2018 video game.
Today's the day. Grant review.
Video game cliche number 32, audio diaries left around for anybody to pick up and listen to. Doc, I'm pretty sure you've heard of this little thing called an email. You use it later on in the game. First advancement of Dr. Octavius is a handjob machine. Game rips off the hacking minigame from BioShock, and you can tell the developers were proud of it since they have a skip button at the bottom of the screen.
Spider-Man, it's Yuri.
Fisk make it to Rikers yet?
Not Rikers. Our boy qualifies for the VIP treatment. He's in the raft.
Man, New York City must be exercising some new draconian laws. Fisk gets arrested, convicted, and sentenced to prison all within a few hours. I see that the Ubisoft virus continues to infect multiple facets of gaming with their tower region unlocks. They tried to cover their bases by claiming someone sabotaged their central server that connects their surveillance tech, but they can't slip bullshit past me. Sacrificing logic for the sake of gameplay. Who the hell is giving us these crime tokens?
Oh, wow. One of my old backpacks from high school. Forgot I attached tracking dots to these.
But isn't the point of using a tracking device is so that you can find an item? And why do you need to activate Oscorp's surveillance tech to activate your own tracking devices? Yeah, I think I can give a sin for Spider-Man clearly killing someone and the game pretending he didn't. There's a lot of ways you can take this out of context. Rule of 3 cliche. This person is stuck in their vehicle when they could easily exit on the passenger side. I too love the fact that I can craft new gadgets without any materials, but at least I can use the magical tokens to upgrade them. We will now proceed to have Aunt May work in the same room where her party is being set up. Distracting her was indeed easy, as May has some terrible peripheral vision. The cake is a lie.
Don't move.
Buddy, if I had a nickel for every don't move...
See, even Spider-Man is aware of the dumb cliches villains commit. Those demons clearly didn't do a good job checking the auction house, cause Mary Jane appears out of nowhere, and her camera was placed in the same room where some of them were guarding.
Hey, Pete.
Damn, bitch, don't say his government name out loud.
Well, Robbie doesn't technically know I'm here.
Yeah, that's Laura Bailey, back with more of her Laura Bailey-isms. And that's odd, since Mary Jane looks like she was modeled after Ashley Johnson, which makes me wonder why the developers didn't just hire Ashley Johnson.
Hey, Craig? No, sorry, it looks like we're gonna have to run something else on the cover. I don't know, maybe the expressionist piece?
You know what? I think I can make today work.
This lady actually falls for Mary Jane's fake phone call.
It's just a friend in the DA's office mentioned that Fisk used art sales to launder stolen goods.
Yes, MJ, make it more obvious that you're not actually here for the art. Does the word secrecy mean nothing to you?
My dear, I think it's time for you to go.
Oh, could I use the restroom real quick?
Should have said, nope, the restroom is for paying customers only. Purchase some of this art or get the fuck out. Metal Gear Watson. Earlier, one of the demons said to Rose that there's nobody else here but them.
There's no one here but us.
Yet in the flashback just 15 minutes prior to Spider-Man's arrival, they come across the statue with an open drawer that contained the very file they're looking for, that was clearly opened by someone else. The power of plot armor compels you.
For the record, what do you know about the file those masked men stole?
Mary Jane, a photographer and reporter, didn't think about taking photographic evidence on her camera or her phone of the one item the bad guys are looking for. Peter and MJ are heathens. They're eating fries with no dipping sauce. Also, what kind of restaurant serves canned soda?
Love seeing you two together again.
Hey, I'm just glad Stan Lee got in another cameo before it's too late. Truly the one above all. Enjoy this pointless chase of the shocker where you don't learn any crucial details.
Plus, I think he hates me.
You have that effect on a lot of people.
But you love me, right, Yuri?
I tolerate you.
Jesus, Yuri. Your edge makes mine look like a rusted buzzsaw. This woman's lips are out of sync.
Which lasted much longer than police had hoped. However, once things quieted down, it wasn't long before Fisk himself was seen being escorted out of the building.
Peter went to an art history major to translate a symbol on one of the most recognizable masks in Chinese culture. Apparently this universe doesn't have their own version of Google or CamFind. Those demons were able to see through these masks without any eye holes.
Peter, listen. That mask, it could be connected to dangerous people.
What? An evil-looking mask could be connected to dangerous people? Mind blown. Oh, look, another trailing mission. My hype levels cannot be contained.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
What do you think you're doing?
This site's been declared a safety hazard.
So you'll just take a few boxes and not shut down their entire laboratory. Makes sense.
We should have confiscated this equipment long ago.
But I've had a breakthrough.
Yes, Otto, you've made a breakthrough that can be achieved even in today's real world. Clean air one moment, Delhi, India the next. I thought I was playing Spider-Man, not Captain Planet.
Spider-Man, Shocker has escaped, and now he's robbing a bank on East 31st.
What happened? I thought he was behind bars.
He was. But one of the guards just walked up to his cell and released him, then gave him his suit back.
Okay. Why did they have his suit in the same prison where he was locked up in the first place? When you arrest a villain who has a suit, you destroy the suit. Do people in this game know about the word logic?
Hey, Yuri. Any idea what Fisk uses that shipyard for?
No idea. Let me send an officer to meet you there. His name's Jefferson Davis.
So, one of the only good characters in this game, who just so happens to be black and a police officer, is named after the only president of the Confederate States of America. There is some twisted irony there, and I refuse to believe it's a coincidence. So we get all these damn side missions, and yet no pizza delivery mission. Game is garbage, confirmed. Watch out there, Spider-Man. Leaving the mission area leads to the symbiote saga.
What's your name?
What do you mean, what's his name? Yuri told you who she was sending.
Let me send an officer to meet you there. His name's Jefferson Davis.
Jeff somehow slips his stun gun in when there is no space big enough for him to do so. Hey, Jeff, I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to use your stun gun to craft an electric web. Don't worry, the city of New York will cover your losses. Fisk went through all this effort in creating a secret entrance to his cache, yet there's a back alley that leads directly to it. Oh, it's one of those segments where no matter how fast you're chasing someone, they always seem to speed up and escape you. Must be related to the other annoyance where no matter how fast you're driving, your enemies always seem to catch up to you. Saving the hero in the nick of time cliche. Fast travel in a Spider-Man game where half the fun is web-slinging around the city. Earth to all game developers, you do not need to tick every single box on the open world checklist if it doesn't make sense within the context of your game. Avengers Tower, but no appearance from any Avenger. Apartment complexes would not throw your belongings in the garbage the same day they evict you. They would repossess and sell to make up for the money you owe them.
I don't care if I lose everything else, but I have to find my Spidey drive.
Gee, Peter, if only there were some backpacks to stuff your items in and web to buildings that you can track later.
Cool window, but I always get the feeling something strange is going on in that place.
He said it! He said it!
Hey there, Spider. Long time no see. Miss me?
Hello there, not Catwoman, who got removed from the game and is now being sold as DLC. Bye, Felicia. The Raft, the prison that houses some of the most dangerous enemies in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, is right in the middle of New York City.
But please take care of this place. It represents the best part of me.
Yep, totally not a loaded statement to let you know I'm a villain.
How's Pidgey doing?
He's a little down today. Misses his cousins.
Lee, what the hell are you doing in this game?
Jeff, I'm here.
What do you see?
Wait a minute, Spider-Man was speaking to Yuri in the E3 demo.
Yuri, I'm here.
What do you see?
And it makes no sense for Spider-Man to be speaking to Jeff since Norman Osborn is going to present an award to Jeff later that day. Wow, Fisk really is getting the VIP treatment. He's able to call his men from his own prison cell and continue to conduct business. Wait, who are the demons shooting at if all of Kingpin's men are still alive?
I guess this is the plan!
This doesn't cause any casualties, especially when the chopper tail should have easily killed these pedestrians. Oh, so now the demon masks have eye holes.
MJ, did they start the ceremony yet?
They're still setting up. Where are you?
MJ, the reporter who has been keeping tabs on Fisk and the demons, isn't aware of the big catastrophe that just occurred in Manhattan. Jeff, my man, you are raising all the red flags of your imminent doom. You have your whole family here, you're making a public appearance and receiving an award, your wife is telling you everything is going to be fine, your son is Miles Morales. You might as well have the angel of death looming over your head right now. Osborn carries on with the campaign rally as if a helicopter with a transformer web to it didn't wreck half of Manhattan. Not exactly the best method to win over voters. I might as well say this now since I'm never going to get another opportunity to say it. Press F.
Cause you did what you say.
First person point of view at critical plot moments. My goodness, does everybody in this game have chest cavities made out of titanium? Metal Gear Miles.
No!
Enough! We have to leave. Now!
The power of plot armor prevails. Truly indestructible it is. Cheer up, Miles. You too have now become a Ubisoft main character.
I just wanted to say, I know what you're going through. That's what you were gonna say, right? Or it all gets easier with time. Or don't worry. It's part of God's plan. I'm sorry. I was just trying to help.
See, this is one of the reasons why I love you, Miles. You know all the cliches and call them out when faced with them. Minus one sin.
I'm busy. What's up?
Have you started looking for Martin Lee yet?
No, I told you I can't start a manhunt based on a hunch from Spider-Man.
But I'm telling you, he's the guy.
Get me some solid evidence and we'll talk.
Oh, one more thing. I talked with a detective about questioning the arrested demons. They're all claiming Martin Lee has the power to, quote, corrupt people.
So, MJ has spoken to detectives about the arrested demons and Martin Lee's power. Yet somehow, Yuri still believes Martin Lee is not involved with the demons' activities.
Martin Lee and the demons are planning another attack, this time on Norman Osborn's campaign offices.
Are you sure? We've had a lot of false leads in the past week.
Peter, just like MJ, fails to take photographic evidence so that he could provide it to Yuri as a lead. Yes, I know in the same breath he gives her the address to the recycling center, but he still should have taken photographic evidence just in case something happened while Yuri was on the way over there. I'm starting to notice there's not much of a plot here, just excuses for you to gain tokens from camps of different organizations. Hey dude, Iron Man called. He would like to have his Whiplash villain back. Silver Sable's knees are still intact after a leap of that height. Mind you, she doesn't have any superpowers and isn't genetically enhanced.
Anyway, Sable has the mayor's ear and unchecked authority. We've searched that address you gave me, found plenty of evidence of a bomb plot, but nothing that leads back to Martin Lee.
Hey, MJ.
Hey, so I dredged up some records on Martin Lee's other business holdings. He's
He's got places all over the city.
No, game. You are not allowed to do that. You cannot have a conversation with the captain of a police department saying that she's found no evidence of Martin Lee's involvement and then immediately follow up with a conversation with MJ where she's found more records of Lee's holdings. Set up a meeting between the two and stop wasting time. Nobody at Feast sees this. All the important items and information you need are in the middle of the book cliche. You know, Martin, if you had this burn room set up to destroy your evidence, maybe you should have done that before you took your leave of absence. There's being a comic book villain, and then there's just being plain stupid.
But the bombers are still out there. Who knows what they've planned next?
I don't think you or May have anything to worry about. As long as you stay away from places you're not supposed to be.
You know, Martin, you do have that note written for May basically revealing you're a villain. There's no need to hide anything. You're not exactly being subtle anymore anyway.
Damn it!
Well, Doc, that's what you get for trying to use an Xbox controller. But fear not, I know a Deus Ex character who could use that arm.
What is this place?
You already know what it is. Pete told you when he was at Consolidated Shipping.
Nice. Did you find Lee?
No, but I found something we should look into. A place called Pale Horse Ride.
MJ has detective vision even though she doesn't have any gadgets or superpowers. Earlier, Peter called MJ when she was in the middle of something, and it was certainly this segment.
MJ, hey, just checking in.
Peter, hey, can I call you back?
I think you'll want to hear this. Wait, why are you whispering?
Just in the middle of something.
Yet nowhere throughout this segment when you're actually playing as MJ does Peter ever call her. Oh, I see. MJ only takes photographic evidence when the plot demands it.
You want to be my sidekick? Like a spider girl? Spider woman?
No.
Woman.
No, not a sidekick. A partner.
Wow, MJ. You didn't think about doing that before you decided to break up with him? I have an Uncharted couple you could take a few tips from. Man bun.
About Devil's Breath?
How do you know about that?
Why do they want it?
I don't even know what it is. I'm the only one who has any record of it.
My dude, if you have records of it, then you know what it is. That's kind of how records work.
Who is he?
I honestly don't know.
Down!
A little slow on that spidey sense. How does a chopper that loud just appear out of nowhere without any sound warning? Also, good to know that the chopper has stormtrooper aim. Standish all of a sudden becomes way further down than Spider-Man, even though they pretty much fell at the same time.
Try to fall slower!
Why? You're both defying gravity right now anyway. Boy, I sure would hate to be the unlucky sucker who lives in this complex. Doors that lead to the outside, rooms that repeat themselves. Are you sure we're not living in the Matrix? Oh, Tombstone, I'm disappointed in you. I thought you, of all villains, would not be one who needed their henchmen to do the dirty work for him. Madam, if you will.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Speaking of which, Tombstone's own henchmen do more damage than Tombstone himself. What? The fuck, he's Ghost Rider now? Some of the people at this party dance worse than Commander Shepard. Nobody at this party is wearing an X-Men costume.
You recently began working with someone in an Oscorp lab.
How do you know that?
We don't have much time, Isaac. Tell me his name.
Interrogation is pretty pointless when you have the power to corrupt people and bend them to your will, which you end up doing anyway. Well, there goes Pornhub.
A few years ago, Osborn came to Fisk and asked him to build a lab, but to keep it hidden from regulators.
Secret lab? For Devil's Breath?
If it's as dangerous as we think it is, I can see why.
Where's the lab?
Apparently, Peter doesn't know what the words hidden and secret mean. Security is checking the outside of the building as if they know Spider-Man is involved, when they don't know Spider-Man is involved. With snipers, drones, and now choppers active, security should easily spot Spider-Man in the brightly lit Oscorp logo. They do not. Sure, let's put all the top secret information about Devil's Breath in a PowerPoint presentation. Oh, and let's be sure the lead scientist carries the only sample of it everywhere he goes. Umbrella would be embarrassed at these actions.
What the?
Charles!
Oh!
What the
That was
hell?
not a Sable guy.
Spider-Man mistakes Standish for a Sable guard when MJ had already told him she was going to look for Standish.
Charles Standish is being held at Sable's Central Park compound. If anyone knows Michael's location, it'll be Oscorp CFO. I'm trying to reach him now.
And I'm not buying that excuse he didn't know. If he had the sight to web the gun away, he could tell that was Standish and not a Sable guard. Wow, Doc, you're doing quite well for a man with a neurodegenerative disease. Your tricks even look like gifts that were sped up to look more impressive.
If the other guy's bigger, you gotta be quicker. Okay?
Okay, but that's easy for you to say. Sorry, I just can't do what you do.
Spider-Man might as well have just taken off his mask, winked at the camera, and say, "Not yet, kid." Game? I'm pretty sure I bought Spider-Man, not Watch Dogs 2.
Hey, Miles.
Pete.
Hey, Pete, I somehow don't recognize your voice, even though I actually spoke to you just a few minutes ago.
Tributes continue to pour in for Officer Jefferson Davis.
Just like the Plot Broadcasting Network, ruining the mood at the worst time possible. PBN. I kind of like it. Think I'm going to start using that from now on.
Just be careful. In the wrong hands, this could...
Don't worry, we're the best in the world.
A few moments later.
This is Sable International. We have authorization for deadly force.
Hey, morons. Probably don't shoot at the vehicle holding the doctor who's cuffed to a briefcase carrying a doomsday device, which you already know about. Well, it wouldn't be Arkham inspired if there wasn't a Scarecrow-like nightmare segment.
Put on the mask. Become one of us.
Wait, did you actually demand Spider-Man to become
one of us? You can stop Osborn.
And so can you with your powers. You can just use them to expose Osborn's corruption and complete your vengeance. Yet you decide not to.
Kneel before me.
Wrong comic book series. Yeah, Lee's been trying to corrupt Spider-Man that whole time, meaning they spent the last 5 minutes trying to evade Sable without incident. Nobody dies here.
Did they take it?
Yes. How worried should I be?
What do you mean, how worried should you be? You saw how lethal it is. You know, if you're going to have a show floor with all your tech, maybe not have the actual models that work on display, especially if they can be used as a weapon from villains who are clearly on the loose.
Listen, I'm a reporter. I have a direct line to Mayor Osborn.
The demons actually fall for this, especially considering Lee already has a direct line to the mayor when he called him earlier. Also, where the hell is Lee and why did he leave? Game, I get what you're trying to do here, and I admire your attempt, but, Spider-Man doesn't really need MJ's help to take these guys out.
Start the timer.
Timer doesn't appear on screen while in-game. Villain hurting or killing some of their own henchmen to prove how evil they are cliché. In this case, killing their henchmen to become more powerful.
That totally worked last time.
Well, at least there was one thing Tobey Maguire did better.
You did it. Lee's off to the raft. The Devil's Breath is safe with Sable.
It's safe with the people who lost it in the first place?
But how did you...
Intracranial neural network.
Intracranial, except the neural interface is not within the skull. That's more in the cervical column of the spinal cord.
But we haven't even tested it yet. There's so much we don't know. It works beautifully. Come on, take a look.
Doc, I think you're having a little trouble with your villain transition. You don't tell Peter to take a look at crucial details about the neural interface when he's clearly going to find out something is wrong.
Martin Lee is now behind bars.
You know, I'm convinced that the real antagonist of this game is PBN, always showing up at the worst times.
So, how are things with MJ?
Don't say it, Peter. Don't you dare say it.
Well, you know, she's, it's complicated.
You motherfucker.
Hey, turn it up. I want to hear this.
God damn it, PBN at it again. And look at that. Sable failed to secure the Devil's Breath again. Never saw that one coming.
It was a coordinated attack. Must have been planned from the outside. Every cell block is breached. We're minutes away from every prisoner and Rikers walking right up 5th Avenue.
So we're basically minutes away from all of Manhattan being in danger. Man, if only there were some Avengers, a Daredevil, a Luke Cage, an Iron Fist, and a Jessica Jones to help out. It's almost as if you can't make references to all of those people and then not have them show up when the entire city is about to be in trouble.
What about the Devil's Breath?
Sable's handling it.
Norman Osborn hasn't fired Sable yet. Clearly they cannot get the job done. They failed to secure the Devil's Breath twice, and they're about to again.
Who thought it was a good idea to bring rockets into a prison?
Notice how Spider-Man asks that question and yet nobody answers it. Even the game can't come up with a legitimate excuse. I see that the raft didn't take my advice of destroying the suits of the supervillains locked up here, with the exception of Rhino since he's grafted to his.
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Yuri, I thought Daredevil was the blind one, not you. So we got all these villains working together against Spider-Man. What are they? Some sort of Sinister Six? Oh, no sin here. I just wanted to make that stupid joke and have it on record. Moving on.
First and final warning. Stay out of our way.
Normally, I would send the game for the villain not killing the hero when he has the perfect opportunity. But if you take a look at this particular shot, you can almost feel Doc's pain behind those goggles. Like he needs to go through with his plan, but is regretful that Peter was in his way and had to deal with him. That is some masterful storytelling and needs to be commended. Doc Ock is one of the best Spider-Man villains of all time, and this is one of the reasons why. There's subtlety behind his actions. Nobody notices this. Doc, you probably should have put on that mask before you released the Devil's Breath.
The citywide quarantine is being heavily enforced by Sable International.
So I'm guessing the CDC, FEMA, and the WHO don't exist in this game. Otherwise, how would a private mercenary force paid for by the mayor take total jurisdiction over all of Manhattan?
Dr. Octavius. Why?
Oh, I don't know, Peter. It's not like he gave you all the red flags and made it clear he has a grudge against Norman Osborn for the entire game. Also, I'm getting some serious Arkham Knight flashbacks with trying to free the city from militia compounds. That's a great way to ruin your own mission design.
Pete! Hey, May wanted me to call you. Things in the Veteran Center are not good. Convicts are trying to break down the doors. Mary Jane's here, but we're getting people out to the basement. We need more help. I hope you can get here soon.
Miles leaves this voicemail as if he already knows Peter is Spider-Man, which he doesn't yet.
Miles, you need to be my eyes and ears at Feast.
Way to reveal your secret identity, Peter. He never told you his name was Miles. Man, Doc is so brilliant. Too bad he's reckless enough to leave residue that leads back to his secret lair and has recordings for his partners that would be impossible to listen to had they never been there. Also, if Doc was persuasive enough to promise all these men cures for their ailments and settle their debts, then his brain is not even close to being as damaged as the neurological data suggested when he was implanting the neural interface earlier. Those percentages indicate advanced Alzheimer's disease.
Icarus was a ruse to get you into position.
Into position?
How come Spidey Sense didn't detect those explosives? Also, Doc is giving some mixed signals here. He told Spider-Man not to interfere back at the raft, but he was waiting for him to show up at his lair, and then had these explosives, but didn't immediately detonate them. Then later Scorpion says that Doc wants to torture him, which would negate the whole purpose of the explosives trying to kill him. Doc, I know you're suffering from a neurodegenerative disease, but you gotta make up your mind on what you want to do here. Wow, they actually created a floor's poison level. I don't know about you, but I would rather not have to worry about falling into the ocean of Gatorade. Yeah, you're not fooling me, game. I know a fake-ass loading screen when I spot one.
Everyone you touch suffers.
Yeah, you might want to rephrase those words, Doc. There's really no point to these puzzles anymore, right? Since Doc's already turned villain, shouldn't they be auto-locked after you reach a certain point in the story?
Quiet.
Hey Miles, ever heard of this little function called Vibrate? Also, didn't we all agree for you to call Spider-Man if something ever went wrong at Feast? And as a result, we get another goddamn stealth mission in a Spider-Man game!
Pick on someone your own size, Rhino.
There is no one my size, Hulk.
Hulk, The Thing, Juggernaut, Venom, Thanos. Just like comic book villains to be arguing with each other while they have their mortal enemy dead to rights. Nah, Rhino could easily bust through that shipping container, especially when we saw him toss one not 10 minutes ago. You know, I'm seeing a whole lot of MJ for a game called Spider-Man. Shouldn't you have gotten a stun gun or any other kind of defensive weapon before you entered the building? Sable mercenaries wearing heavy armor are still taken down by a taser.
Stupid, useless button.
This plan works. I know I should have mentioned this earlier, but the lighting in this game is just impeccable. The screen you're watching this video from does not do it justice. All those jackasses out there who claim this game suffered a graphical downgrade can hold this L. Improve some of the textures and frame rate, and this game is a technical masterpiece, and you will rarely hear that from me on any game. Nice try, game, but I can tell that's a real photograph with Norman's face photoshopped in.
The antiserum's ready, and I'm going to supervise production.
You will be completely vulnerable without me.
I seem to be completely vulnerable with you.
Exactly, Norman. So why haven't you fired them yet? You have your invisibility tech, your pumpkin bombs, and gliders. You might as well be protecting yourself. So this recording basically reveals that Norman Osborn and Dr. Octavius were involved in Martin Li's transformation into Mr. Negative. So why has Li allied himself with Doc Ock when he knows Doc was partially responsible for him murdering his parents? The terrarium breaks in line of sight of the door, yet when Sable enters the room, the terrarium is gone. Mary Jane remains hidden due to Sable's lack of observation, even though she clearly heard the glass break. So you have awareness to shoot the glass door, but not shoot MJ when you have her in your sights? Clearly Miles isn't the only one with indestructible plot armor. Sure, don't take revenge on Osborn even though you have him in your grasp and have accomplished everything you set out to do.
We could fight each other, or we could fight Lee, but not both.
Ah, the old we don't like each other and we're currently at odds but will temporarily team up for the greater cause trope.
You secure Osborn. I will talk to them.
And now Sable trusts Spider-Man to secure Osborn, even though Osborn is Sable's client. Clearly Sable needs to reevaluate her career path. Lee's able to cause all this damage when before he fainted from using one bolt of energy. What, did the spread of Devil's Breath in Times Square make him more powerful? And if so, why would he want to reverse that? He's clearly embraced the demon within him. That's a nice change of pace having the old man be the damsel in distress. Though the fact that it's Norman Osborn when the game has made it clear, at least to me, that he's the true villain means it's gotta get sinned. Experimenting on children? Stealing ideas from his own business partner? Ignoring potentially millions of dollars in property damage from the demons? Prioritizing profits over providing a cure for millions of people affected by a doomsday virus that he authorized the creation of? I mean, hello? Am I the only one seeing the red flags here? Oh, so Sable all of a sudden cares about Spider-Man. Don't think I didn't notice you guys failing to apprehend Lee.
He'll live, but he needs rest.
Man, you really are a miracle worker, Dr. Michaels. You stabilized Spider-Man without any sanitation and without removing his costume. Aw, how patient and generous of the Spider. Crawl on MJ and remain attached even after MJ's fall, and then decide to bite someone. It's like the Spider was thinking to itself, this isn't Gwen Stacy. Ah, how sweet. Dark meat.
I must return home. Reflect on this life I choose.
Dang. I think I'm actually gonna miss you and your death troopers.
Unfortunately, my agents will stay. Though I question our work, they do not. And Osborn continues to pay.
In other words, we still need bases for you to clear post-campaign. Party never stops in an open-world game. Doc, for all your brilliance, you sure do like to leave evidence behind instead of disposing of it, or at least securing the data and taking it with you. Peter builds a new suit in a matter of seconds, minutes at most. Remember, he's going to fight Ock in the same night where he got defeated by him and recovered at Feast. Man, all those snipers, drones, and choppers from Sable Norman had earlier would come in great handy right about now. One headshot and BAM! This would all be over. Whoops, my bad. I was trying to use logic in a superhero game.
How much is Osborn paying you to protect him?
I'm not protecting him! I'm trying to save the city!
You want to try that again, Peter?
Such a disappointment. Parker.
You knew?
Of course he did, dummy. He saw your suit at the beginning of the game. You were always late to your meetings and testings. He has a genius level above yours, and you honestly didn't think he'd be able to figure it out? Doc and Spider-Man pretty much destroy each other's suits, but the anti-serum remains perfectly intact.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
Wouldn't it be easier to count all the people who don't know Peter as Spider-Man? I don't know what's the bigger sin, the fact that millions of people aren't already dead, or Dr. Michaels being able to manufacture a cure from one vial. I'll just combine them into one. Spider-Gwen, Spider-Gwen, she is just a better woman. Has more personality and wouldn't lower a game's quality. Look out, I prefer Spider-Gwen.
I show you. No. It's pretty weird, right?
Worst secret identity ever. Oddly enough, the sin here is not the fact that they're sequel baiting. Hell, I knew that was going to happen. It's that they're hinting at Harry becoming Venom and that we won't be getting 2 Spider-Men fighting 2 goblins in the next installment. We are disappointed.